This is a Cardano chart zoomed out, a very, very controversial chart to be bullish on. In this video, I'm going to break down 6 reasons, 6 very specific reasons why I'm bullish on ADA. And it is a controversial chart. If you go on, especially Crypto X, maybe even a little bit of YouTube, Cardano as this top blue chip chain, not getting the best in terms of sentiment, not getting the most positive vibes in terms of sentiment. So I want to just really go over all of it and really break it all down in this video. So please hit the subscribe, hit the like. Let's jump into it. Oftentimes I do technical analysis. You've really, if you've been watching my YouTube channel, you've seen in particular Cardano, just tracking the Cardano journey, right? In the charts, we've been tracking price, waiting for cycles to shift, all that good stuff. And we've broken down the fundamentals. I oftentimes try and integrate that into my videos, but I don't always get the opportunity to do so in such an in-depth way. And in this video, I'm going to go over 6 reasons why ADA is bullish. And I just want to say, shout out to ADA Whale, because this video is very much based off of this thread that he did on ADA, this post that he did on ADA. Truly, shout out Cardano Whale, because what you did here, what you wrote here, and I think I commented, it's like one of my favorite posts you've ever done. You've really taken why I'm bullish on ADA, and sometimes I fail greatly in terms of presenting it, and you put it here. You put it here so nicely. And I'm going to break down these 6 points that he broke down, and we're going to talk about it. So before I do that, I just want to mention something, even from a price perspective, before we dive into the fundamentals of it and just the whole narrative conversation. I just want to say, here we are. This is this blue line here is Bitcoin halving, and we're right around just a month or so, a month after Bitcoin halving, and ADA is down. We're looking at ADA being down around 84%. And I know I've mentioned this before. At the similar time last cycle, from all-time high, ADA was down, if we're looking at 35 days past the halving, 93%. So from just a technical analysis perspective, that's one data point that I'm watching, and I'm kind of like, you know what? We know that ADA just lags a little bit in terms of performing. The same thing happened last cycle. ADA was getting a ton of hate because it's a ghost chain. It wasn't doing anything. It didn't have dApps. It didn't have anything. It shouldn't even be worth what it's worth now at 10 to 15 cents. And then ADA just went crazy. We're in a very similar environment, but we have a bunch of narratives actually happening with Cardano, and it's getting a little drowned out by all the negativity. ADA Whale does it great. He breaks it down great. ADA price action has been undeniably frustrating. First off, let's say it outright, right? And I mention it a lot. People are getting frustrated with ADA. It is what it is. For the last 1 year or so, we have seen mostly internal crypto money sloshing around with one VC coin and a bunch of memes winning, sucking the air out of the room for everything else. If we're really going to just basically break down exactly what's happening and put it into like one sentence, that's it. That's what's happening within crypto right now. I don't think it will be long lasting. I don't think that is a macro thing that's going to keep happening. Narratives haven't really been on our side, and that is true. Some of it is self-inflicted. We could have had things in better shape, throughput-wise, to participate in meme season, but alas. And I'll add to that, we could have had things in better shape. I think USDC, USDT, I think there could have been more of an effort to have this in place for this bull cycle. The cycles of crypto are very clear. The fact that we don't have that on Cardano just yet, I don't think that's a good thing. That could have been different. Sell pressure through catalyst while other coins pursue coin burns is a bit, shall we say, the Cardano way. Long-term beneficial, creates resiliency, but requires a strong stomach. It really does require a strong stomach, especially if you go to the ADA chart and you look at where we are right now in the cycles. Post-halving, we've seen Bitcoin break all-time high. ADA is still obviously not there yet. He goes on, and we're going to get into the 6 points in terms of why Cardano is bullish. Other communities are just as frustrated right now, and holding on to a spot in or near the top 10 isn't bad, all things considered. And I just want to say that Cardano's not the only one here, everybody. Go look at other charts. Go look at Chainlink, Matic, just good coins out there. It's just a select few that have been outperforming. The top 10 is an interesting phenomenon in and of itself, with 2 stablecoins, 1 staking derivative, 1 fully manipulated coin, BNB, and 2 quasi-manipulated coins, Sol and Ton. ton occupying positions, making Cardano's fate look, in my opinion, worse than it is. And I just agree. It plays so into the narrative of Cardano's just not doing anything. So here we are. What next? Is there a future in which ADA captures the narrative? I think Cardano has a future up its sleeves personally, and I do too. And I've really wanted to do this video to go over these points. So if you're interested in, why I think Cardano is bullish, or why many people think Cardano is bullish, ADA Whale kills it in terms of doing this. I don't know if ADA Whale is going to have a problem with me doing this video. He's a humble whale, but I have to because this is just really good stuff. Number one, the macro. More so than most coin, Cardano is a macro asset. It's obsessed with monetary policy and 45 billion max coins, which have been unchanged now for half the years Bitcoin's 21 million have. Other coins are hyperinflationary or change monetary policy on a whim. I want to speak to something. This is important. Even if you hold other coins, I've done videos on AVAX lately, especially when we get to the top of a bull cycle, this cycle, be careful with all of crypto. But the ones that are hyperinflationary, be careful in terms of what could happen to a chart in the hype phase, at that crazy parabolic hype top phase. We're at the tail end of a period of central banks draining liquidity out of the market. 10 global central banks are already easing policy rates. The Fed joins them soon, and quantitative tightening will slow to a halt. The environment becomes more benign, and the disinflationary aspects of ADA will shine like they did in 2020 to 2021. And so there's 2020, here's 2021. I think ADA charts are getting set up for something similar. A lot of people are lack the patience. They've fallen into the narrative, the negative narratives against ADA. There's so much. It's like, it's truly a combined effort of people online that hate Cardano that are doing that. And you have to ask yourself, why is that? Number two, governance. And I'll put all these in the timestamps. I know people will want to probably skip around. A narrative in and of its own enables participation in Cardano to an extent no other project offers. No other project offers. I want to highlight that. I want to highlight this. World's biggest DAO. There's no other top blockchain that is doing and positioned to do what Cardano is right now. The world's largest DAO. Also, we have seen the FIT21 bill stating that entities not owned or influenced for more than 20% by its issuer can be considered digital commodities. I don't doubt VC coins sold for 80% to insiders will scheme their way to compliance, and they probably will. But either way, if we focus on ourselves, it's apparent self-governance gives full regulatory clarity, paving the way for a TradeFi, institutional, and index inclusion on all fronts. DeFi 2.0 and scaling. This is point 3. Expect TVL and activity to rise. Meanwhile, zero-knowledge tech, Hydra, Layer 2s, Leos, will scale us massively and imminently. 100% agree with that. Real ecosystem. This plays into the prior point a little bit. And this is a really big one for me. I have meme coin plays. My top meme coin plays are probably one on Bitcoin and one on Base. And I'm pretty excited about them. I think they're going to do well. But this point drives home the fundamental bullishness of ADA. Browse through top tokens on a VC chain and you see memes. It really is. That's what you see. Browse Cardano and you get AI, telecom, lending, gaming, cloud services, compute, DEX, books, memes. They're in there. Synthetics, music, privacy, DePIN, RWA, etc. And investors dream of an ecosystem. Capital has a destination. And not only are those things kind of a focus, if you go to Tap Tools and you look at the top projects, it's not just a ton of memes. There are ridiculously relevant projects building. Capital has a destination, especially when those projects are building on a secure blockchain. And I think that's important. A secure blockchain that doesn't get shut down, that's moving to be the most decentralized top chain, what we just talked about. If you look at this, the world's biggest DAO. No other project's offering that. Growing interoperability. We have some of our best devs show their faces in Bitcoin these days, and that's going to be a power play right there. And the connection between these UTXO ecosystems will only strengthen. Remember, Cardano's EUTXO, it takes principles of Bitcoin's UTXO and its security, and it builds it in. New wallets coming online are extremely high quality and multi-chain by default. Exchange listings, number 6. Getting ADA on Gemini and its native token on places like Binance or Coinbase is something that is still on the cards. And these, something like exchange listings, if we're talking about ADA price, that plays into it. That exchange listings, they play into the fundamentals of any coin, right? So that's a big one. But we talked about USDC, USDT, stablecoins. I think we'll have that narrative. I think those things will be delivered. I think that's in the pipeline. I think it's going to happen. And imagine if that happens at the confluence of exchange listings on these native tokens. So exchange listings, native tokens on Cardano, stablecoin done all of a sudden, huge headline for Cardano. And then we have Voltaire, the era of Voltaire and this decentralization phase for Cardano going to be the top blockchain owned by the community, run by the community. These are really big narratives. And so as we do ramp up and as ADA does trade within where it's trading on this chart, a very similar environment to this time, last cycle post-halving, there is so much in store for Cardano. And I have to say, we'll continue tracking. I'm going to continue tracking Cardano charts. I have to say though, as somebody that tracks Cardano, I'm bullish on Cardano. It has been rough. It's been rough because those collaborative efforts that really are happening on X, it's insane, that are just attacking Cardano nonstop. And these are people from other chains. It's like, why spend your time doing that? But it's definitely a motivated effort to kind of just bring bad vibes and negative sentiment into Cardano because it's doing all of this phenomenal stuff. And it seems to be a threat, which I think is so silly. We're in this blockchain space. It would be awesome if cryptos and communities could work together, but it's just not a reality. And I don't think it's even realistic at this point. But doing content on Cardano, it's been rough, right? Just because where price is. But if we see price all of a sudden just start taking off, right? And this is what happened last cycle. I was covering Cardano content. It starts taking off and then the narrative shifts, the sentiment shifts. And I think this is going to happen once again this cycle, right? Last cycle, we had Shelly staking come online. Insanely incredible decentralized staking mechanism for Cardano, the best in the space, liquid staking. And then that was going into the Mary hard fork, the multi-asset ledger, smart contracts with Alonzo. Really nice narratives. This cycle, similar thing. Post-Bitcoin halving, ADA, it's not doing anything. There has no DeFi. Similar vibes as last cycle at this time. But now we have new narratives. We have DeFi actually building. We have these protocols on Cardano. We have Voltaire, the decentralization, the move to community-owned Cardano. That's huge. That's a narrative. Stablecoins coming to Cardano. That's a narrative. Native listings for Cardano native tokens. That's a narrative. These narratives are here. Cardano doesn't get shut down. That's a narrative. The security of Cardano is a narrative. And so similar vibes, going to see how this plays out this cycle around, but wanted to try and bring fundamentals into it. And this thread by Ada Whale, he just hit it home, everybody. And I had to do a video on this because these points that he lists is exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about why I'm bullish on ADA. And that's what it looks like. The charts, I think we need to be patient. And again, there's no guarantees in this space. I realize people are frustrated, but for me, I'm looking at even just the technical analysis data, and I'm like, this is exactly what ADA was doing last time at this cycle. And Cardano's not the only altcoin that isn't doing what the community would like it to be doing just yet. And this is how crypto goes. Yeah, there's some others. There's some favorites that are being driven by the VCs, but I don't think that's going to last on the macro. So these are my thoughts on Cardano today. Hope you're having a good weekend so far. Hit the subscribe, hit the like. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.